Yo, what is going on, ladies and gentlemen? It is your boy Codexual. I'm going to be showing you guys how to prevent Microsoft spying on you. And what I mean by that is you guys are sending out data without you guys even knowing in the background towards Microsoft and any other third party. It could be for making technology greater again. I mean, that's cool and awesome and all, but I like to keep my privacy where it's at, where nothing's being transmitted without me knowing. So in this video, currently this is for anyone who just barely installed Windows 10. This will take you step by step, and later on in the video I will go ahead and leave a timestamp down below to get where everyone's at if they already installed the Windows 10, to show you guys how to get towards that function and other stuff. So to begin with, go to your United States or whatever the region you are in, click yes, and this will go through. It'll
Your
bring everything
keyboard
up.
is set to US. Want to stick with that?
Care. And every time that Cortana is listening, this data is being transmitted over to the network towards Microsoft. So it'll recognize your voice features, or your voice features. It'll recognize your voice. It'll learn more about you as well. And if you were like, oh, if you say this, like, hey Cortana, search da 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 da, it will put that towards the Microsoft servers and it will pull back the best results. So it's just something that will store that information in and whatnot. Get rid of that. Okay, so that's a little bit annoying. And it's always essential to keep your computer always updated. Okay, so now the screen will prompt up. You may go ahead and log into your Word, your Microsoft account. If you do, I'm just letting you know automatically OneDrive will be enabled. And if you have anything in your desktop, or excuse me, your documents folder, it will automatically upload towards the cloud. So I really don't like that. I'll show you how to disable the OneDrive. So every time when you put something in your documents folder, it won't upload at all. It's fairly simple to do. But for this case, I'm just going to choose offline account. If you want to have your services enabled to sign in, you'll be able to use Outlook, Office, Skype, etc., etc., etc. So you're just going to go ahead and hit nope. And I'm just going to give myself a name. We're just going to go with the code. And the password, I really don't care what it is. It's just going to be 1234. And 1234. And I don't care for a hint. We're just going to go ahead. Oh, crap. 1234. We're just going to spam. There we go. It's really hard not to remember the password 1234. Okay, so it says make Cortana your personal assistant. So as I said, Cortana is always listening and it's transmitting data towards Microsoft. So this is where I would hit no, because I don't want that going towards. So this will say it will show the location. So every time if you transmit data, it will send a GPS location of where you're at. I'm just gonna go ahead and hit no, turn that off. Speak recognition, I'm gonna go ahead and turn this off. I'm gonna turn off everything. And the ads, yeah, definitely not. Turn off that and go ahead and hit accept. So there was very limited functions, and there's more functions that we're gonna have to disable, and it's fairly easy to do. So we're just gonna let this go through, and I will be pausing the video so it doesn't take long for you guys to reach through. I just want to make sure that this video can be short as possible and straight to the point. Alrighty, now that we're in desktop mode, so you see everything right here. So on the bottom left, you'll see that 4-tile Windows button. Go ahead and click on that. Then click on the settings gear. Looks like a cog, and it'll say settings. Click on that. You want to scroll down. Then it will say privacy with this padlock. Go ahead and click on that. Then let's go ahead and maximize this. So first thing is we're going to go through all of this and we're going to disable everything. So notice how everything is, it doesn't really disable much. It's just bare minimum. So I definitely want to disable everything so none of it will get transmitted through Microsoft. So we're just going to go ahead and, so it says right here, let websites provide locally relevant content by accessing my language list. I'm okay. And let Windows track app launches to improve start and search results. No. And show me suggested content in this settings app. No. And you basically you just want to go through each one and make sure that everything is disabled and off. You can leave some of the settings on. However, I just don't want my camera to be on. I definitely don't want my microphone to be on. I don't want NSA or Microsoft to be listening to what I'm saying. So, for example, if I said in the Cortana and ask me anything, so it'll pull up like results, like what is the recipe for um, how to make Parmesan chicken, and it'll pull up bing.com, and well, within that browser, within that search function, and it'll be like, so it sends out that request towards the Microsoft servers, then it pulls it back towards you to show the recipe. Now if you have like a unique question, how to make Parmesan with pulled pork, then that will get transmitted towards the Microsoft services, and that's something that's a little bit more unique. Like, who the hell is going to eat Parmesan with pulled pork? That doesn't sound right or tasteful in my opinion, maybe for other people, but that's like a unique question. So what Microsoft will do, it will actually store that question, and it will pull archives and archives for anyone later in the future and try to pull all this data so it can actually give you a proper result. Now yes, that's something in the future that will actually help the improvement of a search engine, but if you were to for example, if you were to ask for nuclear codes, I'm not saying that go ahead and do so, or nor do I encourage. No. Like for example, Candy Crush. It's a great game. I'm not trying to belittle it in any way possible. I'm just saying if you do install Candy Crush could go through your contacts if they really wanted to, but I doubt that. Calendars, nope. You don't need to know what dentist I'm going to or when is my dates. Yeah. Call history, nope. Emails, hell no. You don't need to access my emails or read through any of this. Tasks, so all this is just going to be no. Even messaging, like your text messages, nope. Radio, let app controls radios. So, this is not happening. Other devices. I don't want to communicate with any other devices. Feedback and suggestions. There should be an off button, but however, I'll show you things how to go about. But right down here is where you just want to put in never. So if Windows should ask for my feedback, just go ahead and put a never, and it'll leave things at the basic bare minimum, but I'll show you how to block out that. And background apps, no. I don't want apps to run in the background because that will take more of your CPU and your RAM. So you definitely want to turn that off. The app diagnostics, nope. And automatic file download. You can allow this, but that's where the OneDrive comes into play. And speaking of OneDrive, So right here is OneDrive. Basically, OneDrive is like a cloud. It's kind of like iCloud in a way, but Microsoft version. So with iCloud, if you put all of your photos on your iPhone and whatnot, your videos, your content, it will go towards the OneDrive. So that's the equivalent of iCloud and OneDrive. So I definitely don't want that, and we want to disable that. So you want to go to Settings, and there should be a Startup menu option. So right here it says startup automatically when Windows is when you first power on your computer. Go ahead and just take that off, hit OK, and just go ahead and hit exit. Close OneDrive. Now that will never pop up. Now just to be sure, it will never start up in your runtime. We're going to open up Task Manager and go to more details. Then we're going to hit startup. And okay, so it actually removed itself from the startup. So we're good on that. Now, is there anything else? No, we're good. Okay, so that's through the settings that Microsoft allows you to disable. Now, there's things that will still be transmitted through, so just bear with me. I'm going to go ahead and install an app, and I'm going to talk a little bit about it, and we're going to do a little bit of network monitoring and show you what connections are still being sent out. Alrighty, so now that we have GlassWire installed, and this is a completely free program, you can upgrade it for more of its features, but for what it does for a free program, it's actually quite useful and it's awesome. I suggest everyone to download this. So we're gonna go ahead and stop it by hitting the left click, and right here it'll show the first activity ever. So this is basically connecting towards the glasswire.com. That's the first connection. Now give it a second, and there'll be multiple connections that will go through. And we'll let that. Okay, so there's a little bit of data that was been transmitted. So what is this? So okay, another glass wire that's connecting towards that right there is my router's IP, and it just connected towards the glass wire, so that's completely fine. Um, so as I go through the video, I'll be looking at this and showing you guys an example that it will send out information towards Microsoft and potentially other third-party services. So let's go ahead and look at this just popped up. So Windows host, why is it being sent out? So that this is an IPv6 address. I don't know. I'm not good with my IPv6s. So I just don't know if that's a null address or if it's not. Null means nothing. Let's go ahead and connect to that. So it's still talking. Okay, so this right here is a service. And I'm assuming that is Microsoft because I don't know what IP is that actually connecting to. So to find out, let's go ahead and hop over towards our browser. And we want to go towards dnsstuff.com. And this will allow you to do a trace route, and it will trace the IP, and you could even go ahead and go on google.com and go ahead and paste the IP and see who the services connect to. So it is a the connection with the protocol UDP is used for recent version of Windows, local multicast name resolution, search for local networks. Okay, so this is searching on a local network, but is it really? That one's a tough one. Okay, so it actually is a local network, so we're good on that. So I want to keep monitoring this. I want to close out of that. Some of this data right here is Microsoft Edge because we're connecting towards to other websites. So it actually monitors everything. So that's the browser. Okay, so this right here at this time frame, which is like a couple of seconds ago, right here is when I closed out of the Microsoft Edge. Right here it actually talks towards to Microsoft, and I thought I disabled all the settings, right? Microsoft only wants you to disable the certain settings it wants you to disable, but it's actually still transmitting data through. Why? Um, it still wants to monitor your guys' computer, your guys' activity. So as this still keeps going through, it will show you the graph of what you're going to be connected to. Now, what you can do is show the usage. So if you guys have a bandwidth limit, kind of like how my ISP gives me a bandwidth limit, I only can use 1 terabyte a month for my bandwidth. So right here is actually really useful. External means it's sending out to the internet. Local means it's just talking towards your anything that's connected locally on your router. So internal or slash local is the router. Anything that's external is going out towards the internet. And it shows all the apps that is transmitting the data and the data where it's sent from or received. And it shows you of what type of protocol. So right here, it's going on a HTTPS, which is a secured socket layer, and that's something that you really want to look forward to if you're ever in the web browser. Make sure everything's always HTTPS. That means it's secured, but it shows you what types of services it's connecting to. Now, let's just say, for example, let's just say this app right here. I don't recognize this app. I don't recognize what this host name, or it could be the IP that's being sent out to. So if this was a program that I don't recognize, right here is a little fire icon that you can just click and it will go ahead and block out on something. So something just popped up. What is this? Let's go ahead and check it out. So it says first time app. Okay, so this is the first time app. Okay, so it's still going through the Microsoft, and I've disabled all the settings again. Once I said, so how do we disable all the settings, and how do we make sure that Microsoft isn't getting our data that's not being transmitted through? So other than this program, other than just blocking out the programs, which is highly awesome, you guys should definitely check out Glasswire. If you guys want me to make a more in-depth video about this, I will go ahead and do so. But for now, I just show you the bare basics. So let's go ahead and actually disable all of everything so where no data is still being transmitted through. So what I did is go to Google, type in Spybot Anti-Beacon, and it's by Spybot. I don't know if they still develop or still work with the antivirus software. Back in the day they used to. I just don't know if they do it now. But Spybot Anti-Beacon is a standalone tool which it was designed to block and stop various tracking issues present in the Windows 10. It has been modified to block similar tracking functionality in Windows 7, 8, 8.1 operating system. Anti-Beacon is a small, simple to use, and is provided free of charge. It was created to address the privacy concerns of users Windows 10 who do not wish to have information about their PC usage sent to Microsoft. Simply clicking immunize on the main screen of the Anti-Beacon will immediately disable any known tracking features included by Microsoft in the operating system. So basically, this tool will edit the host files into a null IP 0.0.0.0, then whatever the host name may be, and it won't send out that traffic, that data. So we're going to go ahead and type in installer. That's what we want. Go ahead and click run. And you want to hit yes. And you want to hit OK. And I agree. And yeah, let's go ahead and create a shortcut. So we're going to go ahead and launch it. And now what we're going to do is close out of the web browser. And what this, okay, we can go ahead and close out of this. And what this will do is if we click in immunize, it will block out everything. We also want to hit apply. So you want to hit optional and just go ahead and hit apply on every single one. If you want to go through all of this, then you may. But for me, I just don't want any data being sent towards Microsoft at all. Now, this will edit your host name, your host file, which is provided by that notification of Glasswire, which is pretty awesome. So that's something I find really useful. Now we're going to go ahead and hit immunize. And that's it. and it'll allow you with that notification to be known. And let's actually go towards the host file and let's talk a little bit about that. So Notepad, you want to right click and run as an administrator, hit yes. You want to hit new, open, and you want to go towards the C drive, Windows, System 32, drivers, etc. So let's just start off where the C drive is at. So C drive, Windows, scroll down, look for System 32. Then scroll all the way down where it says, well, not all the way down, scroll down where it says drivers, then etc. Then it'll say text documents. Go ahead and click that and click all files. Then go ahead and double click on hosts. Now, this right here has never been there before. This was the program that was by Spybot that added this block here. So let's talk about something. If I wanted to block Facebook, for example, all I got to do is just type in 0.0.0.0, then Facebook.com, and you save it. Now, if you go to facebook.com, it'll go ahead and block out the site. But I think with Microsoft Edge, it will reroute the system. It will actually ignore that. So Edge they've done something with Edge, but back in previous versions, you were able to enter in a null IP, which is 0.0.0.0 in this format, and type in facebook.com after that, and it will actually block out Facebook. You can even redirect Facebook. Now, this is all done locally, so if you type in like a website, if you wanted Facebook to go to Google for whatever reason, you can go ahead and type in the Google's IP and go to Facebook, and every time where you go type in Facebook, it will actually go to google.com. But with Microsoft Edge, they actually fixed some stuff like that, so you really can't redirect anything like that. But with this, it actually blocks out all of the services that is being sent where the data is being transmitted through. So this is something that I definitely would recommend you guys to have this added on. Now, you can go ahead and close out of it because it's already saved in. We don't have to save. And now this is where you can just monitor your network. So now you see no data is being transmitted. That's what we want. Now, if you open up, your Internet Explorer, Microsoft Edge, Google Chrome, whatever your web browser is, and you start visiting sites, then yes, data will be transmitted through, but not towards Microsoft. And I strongly recommend of using either Firefox or choosing Google Chrome instead of the Microsoft Edge or Internet Explorer, because there could still be that chance where data is still being transmitted through. Whew. Talking too much. But this is something that I definitely recommend that you guys download Glasswire and do these steps. So if you guys want me to cover more of analysis, I would even consider this analysis, more of these basic tutorials. If you want me to get in depth with networking, let me know, leave a like. If you guys can subscribe to the channel, that will actually help me out a whole lot. So I will see you in the future videos, and you guys take care. Peace out.
What's up? Yeah, I'm back on my shit again. Chasing Benjamins, grinding till the very end. Yeah, every day I'm feeling great, better than the day before, and you can see it on my face. Smiling with my glasses on, like I'm blind to all the hate. I can see all